welcome. Welcome back to another round of replay analysis. And today we're looking at
I'm sure this one will be better.
Scotty. We're looking at Scotty, the Gold 2 Zerg player. I have a question for you really quick, Scotty, before we continue. I just heard the Winter voice pack. Have you already had coaching from Winter? And have you decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to the dojo of ViBE instead. This is like the Ip Man. You guys remember Ip Man, where they had like there's like 5 guys who teach a bunch of students, and they all like battle each other. They all have this like pride and shit. No, I haven't gone to Winter. Okay, never mind. You're my first choice. Fuck yeah. Okay. All right. So just know the golden rule. Again, we're talking gold level here, guys. The golden rule of the game is kind of what's being broken right now, for instance. You need to spin that larva as fast as you can. You need to be getting in the habit always. Like this has to be ingrained into you. You need to be in the habit of not allowing your larva to sit there when you have the money to spend it.
I've been gone since 2019. Why is there 12 workers now?
There's a Legacy of the Void change. You start with 12 instead of 6. They did it to speed the game up, and it kind of fucked up the other games sometimes here and there for weird all-ins. Something, you know, it has made certain all-ins more powerful than before, but yeah, no, it speeds up the games. They also, it's not only that you start with 12 workers now instead of 6, but you also have less money in each base now. Half the patches have 50% of what they used to have, so you actually have less money in the bases. So you can't turtle on one base as long. You have to expand faster. It makes the game more active. It's actually a good change in my opinion. All right, now look at your larva. See how you have 3? You waited until you had 3 to spin that 1 egg. That's not good. Only because that drone could have been made a while ago. So that 1 drone could have already been mining. Like, think about it like this, okay? Let's just, I'm gonna break this down in a way that you'll understand. Everybody will understand.
Welcome back to Brobsley. Another game of StarCraft.
All right. It's a different winter. Okay, let's listen to the Winter intro one more time. What does he say this time?
You got this, one way or another.
I like how it changes every time. Okay, so 18 seconds. At 18 seconds, you could have made a drone. Okay, this is now. You might think to yourself, "Who gives a fuck, ViBE? I don't care. It's not a big deal." It is a big deal. Shit like this is why you're in Gold League. It really is. So 18 seconds, all right? Now here's how this goes. A drone has a 12-second build time. So the drone would pop out of your hatchery at 30 seconds. Not only are we going to talk about how much money you miss here for this one drone, but also you do larva cap for like a second, which means you cannot generate larva anymore when you larva cap. Now watch when you actually make the drone. Let's see when you actually make the drone. You make the drone at 25. So you have essentially missed 7 minerals already. Just in you were already down 7 minerals in the first 25 seconds of the game for no reason. That is obviously not good. And if you do shit like this repeatedly, it's going to definitely throw you off more and more and more. And here's the crazy thing, okay? 7 minerals might not seem like a lot when you're like, ViBE, fucking 7? Who gives a shit about 7, dude? And where am I getting 7 from? A drone mines about 1 mineral per second. So if your drone starts 7 seconds later than it should have, that's now 7 seconds that go by, and that's now 7 minerals that are going to just no longer be there. Because on average, a drone mines 1 mineral per second. Now you have to sometimes say the drone could be fucked up and have 3 to 1 patch and only 1 to the other. Or maybe the drone runs to a patch and the AI goes, you know what, I don't want to go here, I want to go all the way over here. Maybe that takes it down a little bit, but you can't really account for that every time because it's not always guaranteed that that's going to happen. In general though, 1 second equals 1 mineral per drone. That's what it averages out to. Okay, roughly. So 7 minerals behind. And now here's another reason why this is kind of a bad thing. If you're 7 minerals behind, it might mean that your next drone after that might start like 2 seconds later or like 1 second later, because maybe you have to wait for like 2 more trips to go to that 10 mineral mark for your or like, you know, 1 more trip, whatever. You have to wait for another drone to turn in minerals before the next larva can be started when you're ready to actually build something. So it has like cascading effects that slow. It doesn't just mean 7 minerals is just 7 minerals. It's also delaying how much money you can make in the future. Now that also becomes slower. So 7 minerals could turn into like 25 or like 20 or over time, because you actually lose a mineral here and there until you can actually like spend all your money eventually. Like, because I'm not gonna lie, dude. If you actually do proper builds, you're gonna have a hard time spending your money. Like you're stretching it thin all the time, which is why if it's a good build, if it's efficient, that's how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to have larva just sitting there all the time. So it's big. It's a huge deal. Try never to miss this. Like this already. If this is how the pace of the game goes throughout the game, that's why we're stressing on it so hard, because I feel like it's probably going to be a problem we're going to see repeatedly throughout the game. And then now you notice how you larva capped as well. Again, that's like I said before.
Yeah.
You don't actually generate larva if you're on 3 already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you're burning stash, thank you for the 3-year sub, dude. Oh yeah. Thanks for the 3 years, man. If a hatchery has 3 larvae at it, you don't generate larvae anymore. And check this out. This is the final piece, okay? Here's the final piece. Larva generation out of a hatchery that just spawns randomly out of the hatchery. That is actually only 50% of larva generation as a whole. It is the exact same amount of larva as injects. So if you have a larva inject, it gives you 3 larvae at 30 seconds. If you have larva automated, you get 3 larvae over 30 seconds because you get 1 larva every 10 seconds. So they both are exactly 50%. So if you ever just neglect your larva and don't spend it, you're essentially wasting 50% of your larva, like generation, that you could have, because it no longer, it stops. Not spending your larva is the same thing as not injecting your larva. It is. It's the exact same thing, because they're both equal in terms of how they generate. So you're not that far behind yet, but you are a little bit behind already, I would say. Oh, like your build's already probably like a good, like maybe like 5, 6, 7 seconds behind, somewhere in there already. It's not that bad yet, but yeah. A little bit of larva blocking going on earlier, and then okay, I 100% disagree with what you're doing. You're going for a speedling style, and I highly advise against this in Gold League. It's excessive for gold players to do this. Now let's watch. Here's why. Let me tell you why, okay? I'm going to justify why going speedlings makes me go, well, this game's fucked for you already in Gold League. Gold players do not have the multitasking to handle Zerglings the way they're supposed to be used, and also macro at the same time. It's impossible. The reason why I say it's impossible is because if it was possible for you to handle Zerglings and also macro at the same time, you would be in Diamond League at least already. Like, you wouldn't be in Gold League. You would already be above Gold League. So if a gold player like, because in gold, I'm sure everything for you feels like a fucking mess, and you're like, wait, okay, what am I doing? I don't know. Like, okay, do this, maybe? I don't know. Like, you're just trying to make shit work, but it's just a fucking mess all the time. So the harder you make the game for yourself, the more of a mess it'll become. And going speedlings is going to make the game messy, 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 because you have to actually run around the map a lot. And you have more tasks you have to do when you're already having a hard time just handling, injecting, and like spreading creep. So this is going to make the game look horrible for that reason, I can already tell. And if you do things even further down the negative side of things, where it, like, let's say you never take your drones off of gas, that's going to fuck your build entirely, massively. So we'll see how this goes, but this is definitely a speedling expand, is what this is looking like. And now here's another tip. If you do something like this, where you take drones off of the mineral line, okay? This is horrible if your plan is to macro. If your plan now is to make drones and only make a few lings for the purpose of defense, but you're going to make drones and you're going to eventually take a 3rd base, if that's your plan now, this is awful because you're prioritizing your gas and you're deprioritizing your minerals. You don't want to do that because gas is things like banelings, roaches, tech, upgrades. That's what gas is. Minerals are things like hatcheries, larvae, drones, overlords, queens, all types of larva generation and larva usage early on to develop your build. Pure minerals. So if you devalue your minerals and oversaturate your gas before you need it, the only way I could justify that this would make sense is if the second this pool's done, you make a roach horn or you make a bane nest now, and you get really aggressive. As the only way this would make sense for the build that you've done so far. You've deprioritized your minerals, which is really, really fucking bad for developing a macro game. Stay on 16 out of 16 as much as possible is my point. Let new drones saturate your gas. See how long you were not at 16 out of 16? That was like 20 seconds of like undersaturated mineral line again. That's really bad. Now I would say this. Your build now is like already now at this point. If we're talking about a macro build now, I would say you're now behind by probably 15 seconds already. Like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, because you're not going to have a third forever. And notice how you're not taking off gas. Okay, you do take off gas. Good. I'm glad. That at least makes me happy. I thought you were going to leave it on forever, because most people do. Your third base, though, should be going down right about now. Your third base should be starting, like, right now. And if you go for a third, 230 is a good third time for a speed league expand. But again, teaching someone in Gold League a speed league expand is kind of like teaching someone who is allergic to the sun how to, you know, walk in the desert. Great analogy. It's not something you should be doing. I'm just throwing it out there. This is too much, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going. He strikes again. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Okay, we're not gonna just stop. But it's really bad. I'm just throwing it out there. Your game is already gonna be fucked up. This is not what Gold League is supposed to look like.
This has been another classic ViBE analogy.
Now 230. 230 was your third base timing. How late is your third gonna be? I'm just watching for the third for a second here. Your third starts at 3:25. You started your third 55 seconds late for a decent build. That is not good. That is definitely very late. Your third does not exactly have to be 2:30 on the dot either. It should just be around there. 55 seconds is not around there. That's fucking super late. Because here's your problem. This is, and we're gonna explain why. Now, I don't want you just to be like 2:30. Okay, makes sense. I'll just remember that. I want you to understand why the fuck 2:30 is relevant and why that's actually important and why you should be around there, or if you can, be on 2:30. The reason why is because look what you're making right now. Well, you're actually making nothing at the moment. You're gonna probably make drones. Let's watch you make drones. Let's see if you make drones. You make drones. Okay, cool. So you're making drones. Makes sense, right? But here's the problem. If you don't have anywhere else to send your drones to, what are you going to do with your drones? Are you just going to oversaturate your natural and have it be at like 28 out of 16 and then eventually transfer to your third? That's not very good. That's not very efficient. That sucks. Are you instead going to just have 16 out of 16 and long distance mine your third? That's not very good. That's inefficient. That kind of sucks. So ideally, what you want to have is you want to be hitting ideal saturation here, and then right when you're at ideal saturation, you're hitting a saturation over here. So if your third base was started at 2:30, it's a 71-second build time. And look at your drones right now. You have 4 more drones popping out in a second here, and this is going to take you to 15 out of 16 on this base, which means you're pretty much ready to start saturating this base. And if this base was started at 2:30, it would be finishing at 3:41, because the hatchery has a 71-second build time. All bases have a 71-second build time. Hatcheries, Nexus, and command centers.
Yeah.
So you're very behind on being able to properly saturate.
You smile.
What's up, RI1977? Thank you for the 52-month resub. Much love, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome back, man.
So hatch gas is auto speedling built? Should he have just
Yes.
gone hatch pool?
Yes. Hatch gas. My question is what build could you ever do that goes gas before a pool that you're going to use that gas really early for? What would you do with that? What would you do? The only other build I could justify, possibly, but I still think it's not necessarily worth it, especially in Gold League, is if you went Overlord speed first. Because if you go early gas like this, it's an all-in or it's a speed league expand. It's the only way it works. And I also wouldn't recommend you go for all-ins. And we already described how it should have been an all-in with, or like it's either a speed league expand or an all-in if he goes get really early gas like this. But if he has because especially if he gas priorities it and rips off the middle line, that should definitely be all-in. Gas priorities are all-in builds. Speedling defensive expands are mineral priority builds. A lot of people think, oh, gas, I need gas because you need to get speed really fast. Here's another tip, okay? Here's another tip we'll talk about. Let's watch when Zergling speed is done now, okay? This is another thing we'll look at really fast. Ling speed finishes in 1 second, right? Now, what happens where, let's say Ling speed could have finished 15 seconds from now if there was not a gas focus? If instead you filled up your gas with 1 drone at a time rather than ripping off the mineral line to saturate your gas. 15 to 20 seconds difference of speed is very fair for that. That's super fair because you could have still gotten speed within that amount of time. Like if you would have just stayed on 16 out of 16 and went 1, 2, 3 on the gas with like slowly filling it up with new drones. Because by the time the gas is done anyways, when you go, if you do a build that's like 17, 18, 17, by the time the gas is done, usually 2 drones are about to pop anyways, so you can have 2 out of 3, and then finally a third one has to finish up, saturating to 3 out of 3 like 10 seconds later. So this is, now let's watch and see what happens with your speed. What happens with your speed?
Evolution complete.
It was like 334 that it finished.
Hatchery cooked up a fresh clean for you.
Thanks, Winter. You see my point? What's the reason? What's the point of going for fast speed? There's no reason to do it. And you're going for drones and hatcheries. And we're going to talk about this. This is fucked up again as well. We're going to talk about that in a second. But don't prioritize speed. Who gives a fuck? All it does is slow you down. It literally slows your build down because you keep ripping off of the mineral line really fast. Number 1, you rip a drone off the mineral line before you're fully saturated to physically build the gas. Number 2, you rip drones off the mineral line to saturate said gas before you're fully saturated because you keep ripping drones off to do this. So don't do this. It desaturates your minerals for longer and it slows all of your mineral based things down. And I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing you've done with your gas that is relevant to gas, and you have 4 gases already, but we're going to talk about this. This is way too much too fast. The only thing you've done with your gas so far is make roach weapons +1 and metabolic boost. That's it. You have just made a Zergling speed upgrade and you have made a roach weapon upgrade. That's all you've done with gas. And you have 4 fucking gases right now. Again, if you're not all in here, this is really bad. This is too much gas. If I hit play for the next by 6 minutes, I imagine you're gonna have like 700 gas in the bank. You're gonna have ridiculous amounts of gas. Because if you're actually gonna saturate this third, it's impossible to not have the gas like that. So now let's back it up. So we justified why Zergling speed early is fucking useless. It is literally useless. Now let's back it up, and we're going to reiterate the fact that if you're going for a speedling expand, you want to be able to saturate your third at a proper time. It should have been done by like 341, ideally. But look, we're at 355 now, and you have nowhere to send your drones to. So honestly, a player who is going to go, shit, I don't want to have inefficient stuff, I guess I might as well take more gas. I would not be surprised if you take more gas. And you're throwing down... Now, here's the thing too. If you turn this, if this turns into bronze to GM series, if this turns into a bronze to GM build, just do the bronze to GM build. Don't fucking do a speedling, awkward speedling gas focused expand and then go bronze to GM roaches. If you go roach hydra out of this, just go 2 base, no speed, late gas, layer into bronze to GM style. Because all this is doing is slowing your build down. Your build is actually super far behind. Even though your third's faster than bronze to GM style, your droning sucks. Like everything is behind. Look at your larva. This is again the thing I'm talking about too, where you're kind of missing out on the larva. You're actually not injecting. You're not here, and okay. Now I'm gonna explain this concept. Do you remember earlier when I said speedling openers are not designed for Gold League? It's designed for like Diamond Plus. Because you can't actually handle the game at that pace. You don't have the multitasking to do it. Right now, the fact that you have overlords across the map, the multiple overlords going across the map, and you're trying to position them all out there. The fact that you went for speedlings as well and have them chilling over here. I guarantee, and then the fact that you're also going for a really fast third. All these things are fucking you over in a way where you just don't inject now. You're not injecting anything. And you're also not spinning your larva. You are literally losing all of your larva. You are sitting on cap larva and you're not injecting or generating. Your build is so far behind where it could be right now. This is really, 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 really bad. And if I were to tell you, okay, how much larva you're missing out on, Every 10 seconds that goes by is 2 larvae per hatchery because you have automated larva, injected larva. And it really equates to every 30 seconds that goes by is 6 larvae. But if we were to look at how much larva, let's look at it honestly from 3:30. We'll start at 3:30 just for fun. Just 3:30. At 3:30, let's look at the larva you miss. And we'll go for 1 minute, okay? Just 1 minute. So at 3:30, let's watch this. Okay? Look at your hatcheries. 0 and 0. Okay, you are right now it's working well.
All done
You just injected again.
for now, anyway.
You now have 3 larvae here. You are about to have 3 larvae here. So now, until you spin this larva, every 10 seconds that goes by is 1 larva that's not being made. Let's see if you make it. Now this hatchery pops off. Same thing. Every second that goes by that you don't spin your larva, you're losing a larva every 10 seconds. And that's 1 per hatchery for the up to, because you're still injecting at least. But 3:33 and like 3:35 was this. Now keep going. Do you spin your larva? You just spent your larva just now. So you almost missed a full larva round here. You missed about 7 seconds on this base. And this base only missed about like 4 or 5 seconds. So if you add those together, you have actually missed a larva right there. Because 7 plus 5 or 6 is still over 10. And if you again, each hatchery is literally capped. So neither one of them is generating. So you have actually missed in total a larva there. Like a full larva generation has been missed at that point. You almost missed one here and you missed some of one over here. But what's going to happen now that you spent your larva, is they are both going to start generating larvae now at the exact same time. Now that they were both capped at the same time, they're both going to now start generating at the same time because you made them both go away from cap at the same time. But you missed about 70% of a larva here and you missed about 50% of a larva here. That's huge. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. And now let's keep going. So you've already missed over about 1 larva. Watch your larva again. You're still not spinning again as they're ready. You spent it there. Okay, good job. If you can keep it down to 0 as much as possible, that's what you want to aim for. Now we're at 4 minutes. And I think you stop injecting here. So now we'll start a new timer from 4 minutes. Because you did a decent... if you miss only 1 larva in a span of 30 seconds, that's actually not that bad. I'm going to throw that out there. Like 1 larva in 30 seconds missed that's above Gold League, okay? That's not pro level. That's not GM level. That's maybe not even Masters level. That's probably more around Diamond level. That's not bad.
New queen.
But look at this. 4 minutes, larva cap over here. And like 4:03, larva cap over here. You are not injecting now. And you were also not... So that injecting counts for 1 every 10 seconds, and not spinning your larva counts for 1 every 10 seconds. So it's 2 per 10 seconds for every 10 seconds that goes by now per hatchery. Okay, that's how the math goes here. Because again, you're supposed to generate 6 every 30 seconds when you incorporate generation of larva and injected larva. So we can just average it off and just say 4 minutes. Fuck it, just to make it easy, so it's not going to be super complicated because it'll be close to it anyways. We'll start with 4 minutes, okay? Because this hatchery was done at 4 minutes. Now let's see what happens from now. Do you spin larva ever? I know you're not injecting, but do you ever spin larva? There you go. Already, as 4 larvae that you just missed. That you're never going to get back. You don't just suddenly whip it out of your ass and you're like, I got that 4 larvae again. No, it's just gone forever because you didn't utilize time efficiently. And utilizing time efficiently is what you need to do in StarCraft. That's how you get better at this game. So you've already, just in this last 10 second span, 4 larvae have literally just been deleted. It's essentially the same thing as a Hellion came over to your base and just roasted 4 fucking larvae. Not drones, but just larvae, and reset you again. That's essentially what just happened because they're just gone now. Let's see what happens now. Do you inject or do you spin your larva? That is now 8 larvae that you have missed. 8 fucking larvae. Because you have not spent your larva, you're still capped, and you have still not injected. You haven't even started an inject. You don't get time back. It's just gone. 8 larvae is deleted now. Okay, you just started 1 inject at 425. You just started the other one at 426. Okay, so at least you're generating larva inject now. So now the timer, I would say, If it's worth 2 larvae on 2 hatcheries every 10 seconds because it's 1 per 10 seconds, but if you went halfway there, I would say you've missed 1 more larva because you missed about 5 and 6 seconds here on the inject because you didn't do it at 420, you did it at 425, 426. So 1 extra larva. So if I said 8 larvae has been missed now from all of it, you'd add 1 more to it now for the 9 for the injects, because you missed up to 1 larva worth of time here. But now at 430, if you still haven't spent it, add on 2 more again to that. You still have to spend it. That's the other side of generation. Okay, you just spent it. You spent it like at 429. So you still did miss that full larva cycle, but now at least you're going to start generating now. So I would say you missed about a total of about 11 larvae right there. In the last 30 seconds, you missed about 11 larvae worth of larva, of time. And you're never going to get it back. You never get it back. And 11 larvae is almost a fully saturated mineral line if you just made drones out of that. That's fucking crazy how much that is. And this is what Gold League looks like, where you just neglect tasks all the time. Like running a speedling around the map, or moving an overlord into his base to scout really, really methodically and like really like everything all the time, or whatever. Things like this are fucking irrelevant to just being able to handle basic mechanics. Basic mechanics are how you're going to get better as a player, and you have to be able to do these. And once you do them more and more and more and more, you'll get faster, 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 faster. And once you get to a point where you're fast as fuck at doing mechanics, you'll be like, wow, I just did all my mechanics. Creep spread, I made all my larvae, I injected all my bases, and I have nothing to do now. Like, I feel like I just knock these out super fast. I can do them really quick now because I've done them so much. I've made it my priority. It's never going to not be your priority ever. It's just that you can do it so fast. You can now start to add shit into your waiting time now. Now, instead of trying to do everything all at once, being like, I don't know, or like juggling 20 balls at once when I can't even juggle 2 right now, you just go, well, now I actually can do all the mechanics, and I'm waiting and doing nothing, so now I will actually send an overlord into his base for a second. And like 5 seconds goes by, and now you're ready to do your mechanic cycles again because you're waiting anyways. You can't actually add in too much shit at once if you can't even do mechanical cycles of Zerg. Which is definitely not happening for you right now. You're definitely missing the beat on it a lot. Now, we're talking gas here. If you're going to go, here's the thing. If you go for gas in a speedling style expand, okay? And I think you're honest. You know what I'm actually going to do really quickly? I'm going to speed up, and I just want to see if you even actually go for speedlings ever again. Or if you just go Roach Hydra at this point, and if you legit do Bronze Gem. You still haven't even started to layer either. I just want to see what your build is supposed to even be.
Your brood's strong.
You make roaches. You make roaches. Do you make a Hydrodin now?
Mineral patch is gone. It's not
Yeah, okay. You're doing B2GM. Stop doing speedling expands. Something happened recently where a lot of you're like the 4th person I've talked to like this. Something happened recently where a lot of Zergs for some reason think they have to go speedling expands and then do B2GM afterwards, and it's so fucking bad. I don't know why, but stop doing that. Just do B2GM because you're actually pacing a lot slower than you should be. Let's watch this for a second. Just watch this for a second. Check this out. You should be just with a B2GM style, okay? B2GM, you should have 66 drones at 6 minutes with a 3rd base. You're at 47. You're almost 20 drones below where you should be right now. That is so underpaced. This is so off in terms of like efficiency, and you haven't even started a layer yet. So what's happening right now to your build, because of the way you have opened with how much, look at your gas. Your minerals is just due to like the mineral thing up here. This is just due to lack of larva. Like, you're not spending your larva very well. That's why your minerals are high. Your gas is high because you took way too much way too fast. You shouldn't be spending anything on your gas until you're fully saturated on your mineral lines. Like, this is crazy how fast your gas is. If you just follow the B2GM build to a decent degree, you'll have so much more efficiency in your build right now. And again, the B2GM build is literally this, okay? Let me just give you a really rough draft of it right now. But there's so many replays you can get access to see it. It's this. Saturate your main base. Okay, you make drones. You just make drones. You just make drones. You make 17 hatch or a 16 or a 17 hatch. 17 is good against Terran. 16 is good against Protoss and Zerg. But I don't really give a shit if you want to just make it exclusively a 16 hatch versus all things. I don't really care. 16 hatch, 18 pool, 20 gas. Okay? This is a super delayed gas. Now, from there, you make queen, queen. You then make a second queen after your first queen's done, and you make a layer when your other queen's done in your main base. So you go up to a total of 3 queens, because you make 2 queens out of one hatchery, and you go queen layer on the other one. You inject your bases. You spend your larva. As soon as your first inject pops off and you spend all that larva, you then go Roach Warren, Evo Chamber, double gas. Because at that point, you will be fully saturated on the natural, and you're still making drones so that the natural stays fully saturated, and the new drones that are made go into the gases. So now you're on 3 gases with 2 base fully saturated. You then take a third base, and you start making some safety roaches. We're talking like 8 roaches. Because right now, I'm going to tell you something. If you got attacked at all right now, you would be dead. You make nothing but drones off of 4 lings with no creep spread. Like, your creep spread's very inactive right now. It's not as good as it should be. Your third queen that pops out should be doing creep tumor, creep tumor, creep tumor, creep tumor. And then as soon as your third base is done, that creep spreading queen becomes an injector, and you make a new queen out of the third base and make that continue to creep spread. The fact that we're at 6 minutes and you've just barely connected your third to your natural is a bit delayed. It's pretty slow. Because this tumor should have, this one spread from here to like there, or here to here, whatever, that would spread the base to natural to third, and that could be done by like 4 minutes. Like 4:30. Not 6 minutes. So it's a bit late on that. And it's because you're neglecting your tasks. Because look at this queen. This queen probably just spent like 4 or 5 tumors all at once. Like, you're trying to throw down multiple tumors all at the same time. And it's because, or not even this queen, sorry, it's a different queen. It's this queen. Yeah, like, you're just neglecting your mechanics. These things have to be, these are what needs to be done repeatedly. And you need to do it in cycles. Do an eject cycle. Do a creep cycle. 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 It literally goes like that repeatedly all game. And it's going to feel like when you start doing it like this, you never do anything else besides that. You're like, shit, I'm literally just doing eject creep, inject creep. I never play anything besides inject creep. Zerg is boring. Is that all you do on this race? And when you're slow at it, yeah, it is. Yes, it is all you do, because you can't actually do it very fast. Because doing inject and creep for you probably takes longer than it takes for you to actually, like, you should be, you're probably doing this, like, you do injects and creep, and it's taking you longer than 30 seconds to do the whole cycle. And then by the time you're done with it, you have to do it again. You're like, fuck, I just finished it and I'm already like late on the next one. Get better at it by doing it repeatedly. But how fast injecting should take you, honestly, when you get really good at it, is like 2 seconds. 2 seconds is all it should take you to inject your hatcheries. All of them. 2 seconds. And then 4 seconds, or maybe 4 or 5 seconds is about how long it should take you to do a full half map spread of creep if you get good at it. So we're talking in total, injecting and doing a full, like, literally, we're talking like spreading 15 or 20 fucking tumors should take you a total of like 7 seconds. And you have to do this once about every 30. So that's if you're good. That's if we're talking of like you got really efficient at it. So you will eventually have plenty of time in there for like the middle of every 30 seconds. You have 23 seconds or so to do whatever you want. Micro, send units around, do whatever. But that does not happen to a gold player, because a gold player usually is going to be like, fuck, I'm like forgetting to do everything, and it's all falling apart, and I feel like I just finished this and I'm behind on that. Get better at it by doing it a lot. Make it a pattern, a habit, like built into you, into your core.
Oh,
Mr. Boggles, thank you very much for the 21-month resub, man. Much love. Thank you, thank you.
ViBE nom.
Yeah, that's right. ViBE nom, baby. But yeah, you got to definitely get faster at it. I forgot what I was going to say now. I was going to say something else after that. But yeah, it's just get faster at mechanics by doing them. And again, 6 minutes should have been 66 drones. At 6 minutes, you should be at like 85 supply. Roughly. Not 67 supply. Like, you have as much supply as you should have in pure drones right now, essentially. So you're super far behind. And again, it comes down to things like, if you're like, I really don't get it, dude. Why am I behind? Inefficiencies of your resources. You don't need this much gas as fast. That's fucking your minerals over. You're also not spinning your larva. It's fucking your minerals over. That's why you're behind. And then also you're very, very vulnerable because right now you've actually gone to 60 drones now, and you have literally just 4 lings, and you made these 4 lings and you never even moved them once. They've been sitting there for like the last 4 minutes. If like some guy showed up here with like 5 Hellions right now at 6.5 minutes, he could kill your whole mineral line. There's nothing you could do about that. Or if he ran into your natural, if like Hellions came over here and just ran right into your natural, what do you have to defend that? Nothing. Like 1 queen's not going to stop a bunch of Hellions from killing your drones. If he went for Hellions. Or if this guy went for like a 2-1-1, which could hit you. Again, this is Gold League, I understand this. But let's just say he did an inefficient 2-1-1. It should hit at 5 minutes, but let's just say he hits you at 6:30. If he hits you right now with a 2-1-1, you'd be fucked. You have 4 lings to stop 16 Stimpack Marines. So your build is definitely risky.
Faster and strong.
It's not actually faster, and it's just risky. So yeah, it's definitely stop going for speedling. Early gas expands. And now, if you fix up the first 6 minutes of your game, I'm going to let you know right now, that's going to already carry you to platinum easy. Probably even diamond. If you can do the first 6 minutes of the game efficient, like we're talking actually efficient, you have no problem getting the diamond league. Because your build is actually going to pace really well in the early game. Platinum might be a little bit of a struggle at times, but I guarantee getting to plat is going to feel like a fucking breeze. And the second your third base is fully saturated, so here's the pacing as well of things. The second your third base is fully saturated, you should be starting a 4th base. And the second you start mining out patches in one of your bases, you should be taking a 5th base. So right now, the fact that your main base is no longer saturated in the main mineral line, it's starting to lose mineral patches, you should already be starting your 5th hatchery. So this base should already exist, and you should be starting like this one as well, or this one, or this one. It doesn't really matter where you put them. You should be on 5 bases though. 4 already done, and 5 bases already started. Because if you started your 4th base when you were saturated on your 3 base, you should have started your 4th hatchery at 6 minutes. And then your 5th base should start at like 7:20, 7:30. So you're like pretty far behind in terms of hatcheries now. And the reason why you should be doing this is because you are not attacking. You are doing defensive bronze to GM stuff. That's exactly what I did every game in that series. If you don't do it, that's why you're like, fuck, why don't I win? That's why. You're behind. You're super far behind right now. You're not actually macroing as much as you should be. And look at your larva. If we now, remember how I said 2 per larva, 2 larva, 2 larva, 2 larva every 10 seconds? If you don't inject or you don't spin your larva, you do have injects going on right now, but you have 15 larvae sitting here. Each hatchery is capped. And if they're capped at a point where each hatchery has like 5, 6, whatever, it's been capped for a while. You're not generating larvae for shit right now. Now you have 18 larvae. You are okay. So another tip is every single so this is how your tasks should be, okay? Alternated larva spinning with alternated tasks. So it's like this: injects, larva spin, creep, larva spin, injects, larva spin, make an overlord and make my overlord go over here, spin my larva again, make an overlord, send it over here, spin my larva again, injects, spin my larva again, creep, spin my larva again, make another overlord, send it over here, spin my larva again, make another overlord, send it over here, spin my larva again. This is it. So every single time you do something, spin your larva, alternate it every single time. This is why 5SD, 5SD, 5SD is such a big thing, as I described, because you need to be doing it repeatedly the whole fucking time. You definitely miss your larva a lot. And what you can do too, as well, which will give yourself a lot of like vision here. I've noticed when you make overlords, you don't even rally them. You just let them. You don't rally anything. You actually rally nothing. You don't even have a rally point. Definitely start using a rally point with your hatcheries. Just right click like once over here or something. And every single time you make an overlord, for the first like 15 overlords you make, Overlord 1, go to his base. Overlord 2, go to the front of your natural. Good shit. That's it. For Gold League, that's all you got to do for the scouting overlords. Overlord 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to like Overlord 13 or something. Then you make an Overlord. Make an Overlord. Like as you make the Overlord, like let's just say you hit 5. Select your hatcheries. Drag your mouse over here as you hit it, and go SV Overlord. And if you want to make another Overlord, drag your mouse 5SV, click 5SV, click 5SV, click 5SV, click. Go to this side 5SV, click 5SV, click 5SV, click 5SV, click 5SV, click. Make Overlords skirt around the side of the map as you make them. You can rally the egg out there. Just make the Overlord, make the egg, and then you're done. And then re-hit 5, so it deselects the egg and the larva. Hit S again to select your larva. And then fucking make your Overlord. What is 5SV? It means 5 make Overlord. 5 select Overlord. If you make what if you hit this one time, guys, I'm gonna let you know a secret right now. 5 selects the hatchery. S selects your larva. V makes 1 Overlord, so you'd have 1 egg and an Overlord here and 2 larvae. If you right click right there with that 1 egg and 2 larvae, it doesn't do anything to your larva. Okay, it does nothing to your larva. It only rallies the egg. That's it. And then if you re-hit 5SDD or drone, whatever, it doesn't do anything to that larva. It doesn't do anything. And also now your Overlord will go here. And it deselects the Overlord egg when you re-hit 5S. Because it doesn't select eggs, it only selects new larva. So you can go 5SV, 5SDD. Good to go. You just spent all your larvae and you rallied an Overlord to a nice spot. And so you don't have all your Overlords just having a powwow in your base having no vision. Make that a habit. If you can do this, like this, if you can just simply do good larva spinning with good creep spread, with good Overlord spread around your side of the map, I do not want you to attack him a single time and don't even give a shit about what he's doing. If you just do this, your build's efficient and you'll beat everybody all the way up to Diamond League, no matter what they do. I don't give a fuck if they go mass Banshees. I don't give a shit if they go for a tank timing. I don't care if they go DTs. I don't care if they go for battle cruisers or carriers or mutas or whatever. If you just play efficient, you'll beat every build. And you want to know why that is? This is where gold players like get their mind fucking blown, because I get questions like this all the time too, where they're like, okay, ViBE, in your Bronze GM series, you never got killed by the shit that I deal with. People are just better, or like my opponents are harder than yours were. Dude, like, how do you deal with anything I just said? How do you deal with a guy who goes battle cruiser early? Like, it's just, you can't deal with it with your build. It doesn't work. Should I be going speedlings? Like, it's like, what the fuck? No. Just fucking do it efficiently. Jesus. Because here's what really happens. This is what actually happens. If you go for a efficient build, your supply would be like 126, and if your opponent was going for like battlecruiser really fast, he would have like 48 supply, and you have like 120. That's actually what it looks like in Gold League if you just play efficient and your opponent does some stupid shit like that, where he's like rushing battlecruisers and then I'll expand. It's like, wow, he's got 40 fucking supply, 46 supply, and I have 120. One battlecruiser shows up and I already have 25 Hydras. Well, good luck. I just A-move it and it just dies. Battlecruiser killed maybe 2 Hydras and it died. Now I'm at 122 supply and he's at fucking 34. And he's remaking SCVs again to make his natural now. Like, that's what it looks like in Gold League and shit like that when they do stupid builds like that. You just need to macro. This applies to Protoss and Terran as well if you just macro. Same shit. You can defend everything if you just fucking play efficient. And you don't waste time doing shit that doesn't make sense or like not doing anything.
Mind out of that cluster. And still in the game?
But yeah, like again, 5th base should be going down. Then look at your natural. See how these patches are getting kind of low too? Like there's 170 here. When this base starts mining out, that should be your 6th base.
You took all the minerals from that cluster. All done evolving.
6th base should be started here once this base starts mining out, which will be around 9 minutes. So you're starting a 4th base right now, and your 4th base should have started at 6 minutes. So your 4th base is already almost 3 minutes behind, like 2:45 behind. The Hydra upgrades as well. Like right now, you should be able to, by right about 9 minutes, you should be able to be maxing out, and your Hydra upgrade should be fully done in terms of speed and range, and your upgrades of weapon and carapace should be about, you know, like 2-1 upgrades. You're looking pretty decent on that. That's looking pretty decent. But your Hydra upgrades are really far behind. Your droning is very far behind. Your expansions are very far behind, and it's just because your opener was fucked up. which is why this is happening. You had a gas priority really early, and you also took a third base with speedlings, which was super awkward for the start of the game because you didn't even do a speedling expand this game. You did a speedling expand into bronze to GM, which doesn't make any sense. I thought Zerg could max out at 10 minutes or 9:30. Okay, a little bit later. Fuck, we're going Hydras as well. You can actually, I'm gonna throw it out there, okay, guys? Here's a fun fact, okay? I don't want to wipe your asses too hard, but you can max out with Zerg at 7 fucking minutes. Would you believe that? 7 fucking minutes you can max out with Zerg. And at 7 minutes you're at 100 supply, and he's at 70. You could be maxed at 7 minutes. It's fucking crazy, but it's actually possible. Do you have a video of you maxing out at 7 minutes? Sure. How about this? How about I'll show you after this? We'll put it in the VOD.
Evolution complete. A mineral. Your Zerg have evolved.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Vibe. We dare you to do it.
I'll do it. I will. I love you guys, and I obviously I know everyone has a different skill level, and this game is very hard. But I'm just saying, if you want me to help you get better at the game, I can't baby you too much. And obviously Scotty wasn't even the one to ask this question, so Scotty, I'm also not ripping on Scotty too much. I'm not trying to. It's just I have a stream chat and they ask me questions as well. And if I tell you, you can max out at 10 minutes. You know what that's like telling you? It's like telling you that, you know, it's like telling like a kid who's a fucking moron, you're gonna be the next genius, dude. Now I'm not calling Scotty a moron. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying you have to get realistic expectations here, okay? Bring this shit back down to reality. Okay? Bring it down to reality. If you had a kid who, like, let's just say he was the worst baseball player ever. Like, every time he tried to swing the bat, he was like, ow, my wrist. Or he, like, dropped the bat. He threw the bat. And you were like, you're going to be in the MLB, bro. I already know you are. You're going to make it someday. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. It's like, no, someone eventually will, because the reality will eventually hit you in the fucking face. So, if I tell you a 10-minute fucking max is doing a good job, I'm preparing you for failure, is what I'm doing.
Mutation complete.
Alright. And that's kind of what happened here. You maxed out around 10 minutes, so I definitely think you could do this faster. I definitely think you could do this faster. Scotty, I'm not actually saying anything about Scotty specifically, by the way. I'm just giving analogies. Like, you have to be hard on people to make them better. You do. Now, here's the thing. Now, we're talking about maxing out, okay? So, time aside, again, your build. Okay, let me just say this in a way where it's going to make sense before I move on, because I don't want you to be confused. Now, your build could have maxed out a lot faster if you just do Bronze to GM Series opener, which is, I already explained it again. I don't really want to explain it all over again because I feel like I've already explained it like twice throughout this. And you also can watch replays of Bronze GM over and over and over. There's probably like 200 of them out there. There's VODs of it on YouTube as well. So just do B2GM series in terms of the opener, like how you actually develop your gases and how you develop your hatcheries and when you do these things. You should be going to 4 bases. Your pacing should be 4 fucking bases before your main base mines out, okay? And as soon as your main base mines out, every time a base starts mining out, add another base to it. Main base starts mining out, add a 5th base. Natural starts mining out, add a 6th base. 3rd base starts mining out, add a 7th base. 4th base starts mining out, add an 8th base. The 5th base starts mining out, add a 9th base. You always add a base on as your existing base starts mining out. That's how it goes. And if you can't do that, you're under par. Just know that. You are behind. It doesn't mean it's not acceptable and it's like, well, quit the game now. It just means that you should realize if you're in that situation, you're behind. You are behind. And you should not be like, no, I'm actually not behind, Vibe. No, actually you fucking are. You're behind, okay? There's no excuse for that. Like, it means you're behind. And you can do it faster in the future. And we can see, look at the natural. It's mining out. And we're still on 4 bases. 5th base started for this base being mined out. 6th base started for this one being mined out. So there should be 2 more bases than there already are. Okay? There should be 2 more bases than there already are. Now, and again, the thing I didn't want to confuse you on was I just want you to really follow the pacing of a build. Okay? And a good checkpoint to know if you're on par, before even we talk about expansions, if you can hit 66 drones by 6 minutes, you're doing a good job. In this game, you were at 45, I think. Or you were at 46. 47. Something like that. You were, I think it was, yeah, 47. I think you were at 47 at 6 minutes. That's fucking really far behind, though. So, 66 drones by 6 minutes, and you always take an extra, you go to 4 bases before your main even mines out, and you take 1 extra base every time a base mines out. Like, it starts, not fully mined out, it starts mining out. Because otherwise, you're going to have inefficient drones if you actually have, like, 80. And also, go to, like, 80 drones. The fact that you're sitting at 62 is really bad. That's not good. It's a very weak economy. Your economy is not very good. It could definitely be a lot bigger than this for the style of game you're playing. So, now we just talked about your macro. I gave you some checkpoints, some benchmarks to hit for future reference. Now, here's another thing. If you can squeeze it in, when you're on the process towards maxing out, when you have like 150, 160 drones, when you're actually at that point where you have you know, you're gonna max out soon. I want you to scout the map. Scout the map with one roach. Or 1 fucking speedling. If you like, obviously I don't want you to go speedlings in the future, but you have them now. You should definitely have scouted the map. I want you to scout base, 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 and the other side of the map, base, base, base. Where did this guy expand? And you should know where you should attack. And look, he's hiding a fucking base on you. So obviously what would happen is your right scout would scout nothing. Your left scout would scout this and then die right there. So you'd be like, oh wow, planetary. So what you could do is your whole army then, when you're ready to attack, could go a move here, shift, a move here, shift, a move here, shift, a move here, or there, and then a move, shift here, and then here. You could just go from the left, work your way in, and literally forget about your army, and go back to macroing, where you go drones, injects, creep spread, you know, make sure my larvae are good, whatever you got. Like, you're probably not gonna make drones at that point, because you should be done making drones already. You should never max on 62 drones. But the point is you go back to mechanics, macro. You don't look at your army. Who gives a fuck? You already know where his bases are. You found the you know what a hidden base is. You found the proxy base. You're gonna kill it if your army goes over and kills this right now. It's not even gonna. There's 0 chance it lives. 0. The only way it lives is if you just never scout it. So you're doing it now. This is way too late. Way too fucking late. This should be done because you maxed at 10 minutes. This should have been done. And the game, we're going to correlate it to your game at like 9:30. You should do this like 30 seconds before you max out. Or like maybe 50 seconds before you max out. Maybe a minute before you max out. When you're like 140, 150 supply is when you should be doing this. And the reason why you should do it then is because if you do it when you're maxed out, look at the Terran supply at 10 minutes. 157. You're maxed in like 2 seconds from now. 1 second from now. You maxed at 10:01. Every second that goes by now, when your army just sits here, when you're maxed, your opponent catches up to you. And Roach Hydra is a bad army compared to something like Siege Tanks. Now, Roach Hydra versus Bio is not that bad, but Roach Hydra versus Bio Tank is not actually good. And the more time you give your opponent to make a more expensive army than what you're making, makes your chances of losing the game go up. Because Roach Hydra is a fast maxing army. It's not a very tech-heavy army. Like Lurkers and Broodlords and Ultras and Infestors and things like that are tech-heavy. Roach Hydra is not. So the point of Roach Hydra is that it's easy to use and it maxes fast. You need to take advantage of that by moving across the map really fast.
If you're going RH/RR, do you even need speed?
Yes, you do. 100% you need speed for Roach Ravager, Roach Hydra. You definitely need speed. It should be done already, though, like a long time ago. Thank you for the bits, Droop Nasty. But look at his supply. He was at 157, right? Now let's see what he goes to by the time you actually move out of your base and how long it takes you to move out of your base. So you're finally leaving your creep and you're going towards his base now at 11 minutes. He's now been able to go to almost max himself. He went from 157 to 180. And I'm going to say he's not really building supply that fast himself either. But in general, you had an advantage, a bigger advantage than you did now, and it's kind of going away. Because you're waiting till so long. But you're still going to kill the base either way, which is good. You kill the base, wonderful. And now what do you do with this army? I'm not gonna lie. If it goes here in suicides, even though there was a proxy base there, you actually killed the proxy base. Good job, with 2 hydras. Good shit. But even if this army goes here, dies now, your army just walks over here. It takes like you kill like 3 Marines and you fucking die. You know what? I don't give a shit. A lot of people in low leagues would look at this and be like, "That's why I lost." No, it's not why you lose. If you can't handle remaking an army and that's why you lose, obviously you have a lot more problems that are existing than just losing an army. So what should be happening now is you should definitely be expanding and saturating your bases properly. You're definitely under par on drones. 62 is, again, not good. So let's watch your army engage here. It's going to look really bad probably. Like if you don't pull it back, you're going to lose everything. And that's okay. I don't really give a shit that you lose everything. It's not the biggest problem here for you. Let's see. Watch your larva. Watch your larva. And look at your look at the minimap and let's watch if another base ever starts. So you can periodically glance at the mineral lines and be like, there's another red box appear there? So far the answer is no. But watch the larva and let's look at your injects really fast. You're not injecting. You have 1 base being injected. Okay, this one just started. And okay, just kidding. You actually are injecting. I take it back. But you do have a lot of energy on your queens though. You have enough energy here for 2 injects there. You have almost 3 here, and you have a little bit more than 2 here. You just have energy on the queens. I'm going to look at your camera, and I'm also going to look at your larva on the top. Let's see what you do.
Your brood is under attack.
You spent it. Good job. Okay, well done. I'm proud of you. But do you spin it again? No. You do it once and you stop. You spent it again. Good job. But my question to you would be, what is so fucking important to look at here? And even though you didn't micro anything, and you're like, okay, I'm not microing anything, ViBE. I was told not to micro here. Why are you not expanding right now? Why are you not fixing your drones right now? Why are you not making future injects right now? Because you actually have now actually stopped injecting. You have not injected once since this whole fight has happened, and now your existing injects are popping off and nothing's happening anymore. So your future larvae, again, are going to kind of drop off. Why are you not spreading your creep right now? If you spread your creep, you get more control of the map. You should be doing the mechanics of Zerg during this. That's the whole point of the A move, is you don't look at it. So I know you want to look at it. Everyone does. Everyone's always like, but ViBE, that's why StarCraft's fun. I want to see my army. I want to see if I win. I want to watch the fight. That's the whole point. That's the whole reason why you play this game, is because not only do you watch the fight, but you also get to micro it sometimes. I know you didn't micro there, but watching the fight literally just wasted like 30 seconds of your time. It wasted so much time because you just neglected a whole chunk of time that you could have been spreading your creep. Like your creep could be further out. You could have had more larvae again for your next max again. It's supposed to never end. You're never supposed to get to a point where you're like, fuck, okay, I can't keep up anymore. And the fact that right now you only have 144 supply is a problem. You should be maxed again. And you know why you're not maxed? Because you don't have enough hatcheries. Because you didn't expand.
You're all mined out.
And then now it's happening again. You should definitely, right now, scout the map again. This guy's prone to hidden bases. He's already tried to throw 2 of them at you. You should be scouting the map right now. You maxed out at like 13 minutes. How long do you wait till you move out again? Say you start to scout again as you max. This is really late. 13 minutes. Now we'll go back to 13 minutes and see the Terran supply again. Let's say we're going through a pattern here. Okay, so you basically maxed at 13 minutes, and he's at 169, okay? 169. How much time goes by before you move out again? Last time it was about a full minute.
Mineral patch is gone, and it's not coming back.
I'm glad you're at least scouting for the base. You have the right idea. You're just not doing it fast enough. Okay, you found his base. And now you're ready to move out. But you're not moving out. You're chilling still. You've waited over a minute at this point. This is not how you want to play this. You want to prioritize the move out and then you spread creep behind it. And like, no, you don't even look at the army. That's when you should be spreading creep. And now if I watch you watch the army and not spread creep during the fight and not inject during the fight, that's a big problem. Now let's watch and see if you just watch the fight. Your army's engaging the enemy right now. You're fixing your drones. That's good. Good job. You should definitely be expanding. You're not looking at the fight at all. I don't know what you're doing really right now, to be honest. What are you doing?
Your brood is under attack.
Okay, you're trying to macro your units as they die. Good job. Okay, you didn't look at the fight at all. But I will say, I think you need to get more comfortable with like the hotkeys of the game. Because I feel like you just wait like there. I don't know why it took so long to do what you were doing there. Like you stopped using your mouse. Larva spinning should be a secondary task that always happens. It's not a primary task. So like you don't have to actually cease everything to spin your larva. You alternate it. So what should have been happening? Like you grab drones, that's fine. You can spin larva, that's fine. You send your drones over here, that's fine. You can grab drones and saturate your gases properly. Like grab 3, put it on, grab 3, put it on. That's fine. But then like you actually sat here for like 10 seconds just fucking with your larva repeatedly. Like grabbing your larva over and over. I don't know why that was needed. Because all you have to do when you spin your larva like that is like go 5S, hold the button down. Whatever button it is, hold it down. Of whatever you're going to make. And you could have done that by doing something like this. Go over here. Make a tumor. 5S, hold the button down. Drag your mouse. Well, as you're holding the button down, your mouse, so you're doing two things at the same time. Your mouse goes like this as you hold H. You let go of H. You let go of your mouse on the side of the screen. You then go spread. 5S, hold the button down. Move your screen. Let go of H. Grab these. Creep. Hold the button down. 5S, H, hold the button down. Move your camera. Let it go. Click. Spread. 5S, H, hold the button down. Move your camera. You could be doing this together, but what you're doing is you're just going 5S, H. 5S, H. 5S, H. 5S, H. Okay, we're done. Like it was a lot of time where you just sat there. Alternate tasks with larva. Try your best to spread your creep and inject your larva. And then spin your larva every time you can. So you, like again, you don't have to. And you might. The reason why I think you were sitting there is because it might have been something like this. I have 50 larva, 5SH. Okay, only 11 got spent because my units are currently dying in the fight over across the map. Okay, wait, no. I'm losing like 10 more again. Okay, 5SH. Hold the button down again. Okay, I made another like 12. Okay, but more are dying again. Okay, well now hold it down again. And you're just like you're playing the task way too slow, is what I'm saying. You could definitely add in some more shit to it. Your creep spread's not bad for Gold League. I'm not gonna lie. For where it, like 15 minutes in the game, the fact that it looks like it does right now, this is actually respectable for Gold League. Honestly, your biggest your creep spread is not the worst. It definitely could be better, but it's not the worst. But your biggest problem of all is your build, efficiency wise, with your generation of your economy is fucking garbage. That is your biggest problem of everything I've seen in this game. Your early gas and your weird third and your speed thing, all of that shit was, we already talked about it. It was awful at the start of the game. It slowed you down. Then behind that, the fact that you just don't expand and you never go to 80 drones is awful. It's going to definitely fuck your game up. So fix those things and suddenly you're going to get way better at that and just focus more on the mechanics of Zerg and I guarantee platinum no problem. Guaranteed platinum no problem. And you'll be well on your way to diamond. Guaranteed. You don't even have to worry about what the Terran's doing. The fact that I feel like you already do kind of understand the pacing of how the game goes. That is good. Always kill expansions. Because in StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, bases mine out really fast. So if you prevent your opponent from taking new bases, their existing bases mine out really fast. Look at yours. It's basically dried up. Look at his. It's basically dried up. it's basically dried up. If you can kill new bases from this guy, he runs out of money and he dies. Because you can't do anything with no money, so you just die. Alright, then from here we'll just finish it off. You're waiting way too long for your move outs and shit like that too. I imagine you're probably gonna do it again. That's definitely a priority. You want to move out the second you're maxed. Not wait for 90 seconds or a minute. So scout before you max, and you're not scouting again before you max. And the beautiful thing too is, as you spread your creep more and more, you have to scout less because your creep directly scouts for you. It's like, oh, I know he doesn't have a base there because creep's there. Oh, I know he doesn't have a base here because creep's here. I know he doesn't have a base here because creep's there. Creep. It limits his bases because you know creep is there.
The swarm is threatened.
So like, what are you looking at now this time? You're looking at your army.
You took all the minerals from that cluster.
You're trying to make a pre-concave. You're microing there. But as you micro, are you actually macroing? You did spin some larva, but are you actually macroing? Are you... Like, at this point, once you did that spread of that army, like, what are you actually going to do beyond this point? I'm not going to lie, that micro was not bad, what you just did here. It was not bad. You gave yourself a fat concave and you chose an intelligent spot to fight at.
Mineral pad
Not bad.
is gone.
That was easy as well. You just grabbed a chunk, moved him out, concave. But what do you actually do? Time is of the essence in StarCraft 2. And if you think you're going to win the fight and let it happen. Okay? But are you going to do anything as like 1604 is when the fight starts. What do you actually do in this amount of time now that goes by until this fight's over? You make larva. Good. I'm proud of you. You did spin your larva once. But now you are watching the fight. And now you realize, okay, oh, I'm going to die now. 24 seconds later, you actually go back to your base again and start doing something.
They're attacking your creep tumor.
And you're not injecting either. There you go. There you go. That was a very long amount of time that went by. If your queens repeatedly go up to this amount of energy and go back down and go back up again, this should not be happening. There's no reason why they should always be like below 30. Always, if you can help it. Like, that's what your goal should be. Not let them go to 100 or 125 and then spend it all at once. That's really bad. That develops bad habits for you too, because it means you're not going to check it until, like, if there's something you should be checking every 25 seconds, if you always wait until you have like 5 rounds of it, it means you're never going to check it until like every 2.5 minutes. So don't play like that. It creates poor habits because it means you're always going to do things like supply block. You're always going to do things like miss a bunch of fucking injects. You're always going to do things like miss rounds of larva. You're always going to do shit like have weak creep spread because you're going to miss waves of it repeatedly. StarCraft 2 is literally a game of balancing tasks repeatedly, often. Not doing something for 2 minutes, or like not doing something for a full 2 minutes and coming back to it later. And then doing a fuckload of it at once and then coming back to it again 2 minutes later. That's really bad play. That is bad habits. Okay.
Brood under attack.
And now you're going to die because you just don't have enough supply.
Find out of that cluster.
You don't have enough larva. And it's because the reason why you don't have enough larva is because you don't have time on your side. Because if this guy gave you 2 minutes and all those injects you just stacked up on your hatcheries were actually out, yeah, you actually would then have a lot more larva. And all that time, if you don't spend your larva fast enough when you're not maxed out, and you have, so you're not remaxing. Instead, what you're doing is you're letting your supply dip all the way from like 200 down to like 150, and then you make a wave all at once. And then you let your supply dip again down to like 150 and make a wave at once. You're not utilizing generation again there either. And every single base is 1 larva per 10 seconds for generation. So these things add up. And if I had to guess, at 17 minutes, compared to somebody who plays efficient, like actual B2GM style, I would say, this is honestly, you're going to probably feel like, wait, what the fuck? If we're talking about if you had expansions at the proper times, if you had injects constantly being properly done, if you had spending being properly done, you are behind this game probably like 500 larvae where you could have been. That's honest. The amount of time you have had inefficiencies on your hatcheries has been ridiculous throughout this game. And it's crazy how fast it adds up because you have to add up each hatchery individually, and you should have like 7 hatcheries right now. Or 8. Realistically, you should have 4 bases, 5th base, 6th base, 7th base. This is, you don't need an 8th base yet, but it's coming up soon. 5. You need one in 5 seconds. Like one patch for mine out.
You're precious.
You need another base right now. Boom. Another hatchery again.
Your brood is under attack. Maru and Cyril make it look so easy.
Yeah, they do. That's right. But yeah. Anyways, Dr. Darknet, are you ready to go for a 1v1 challenge? Or if you're not ready to go right this second, because I'm making a YouTube video, I'm just gonna make my own game. So I'm gonna make a game right now, and if you acknowledge it and you're ready to go, I'll invite you right away. Otherwise, I'm just gonna play an AI and do a 7-minute max just for fun, because I'm gonna show you that it's very capable. I'm ready. Message me. I don't know where you are. So, yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of things we just talked about that you can improve on. My dude, Mr. Charvy. Hell yeah, though, dude. Thank you very much for doing a replay analysis. And this will be the final example. All right, I'll give you 10 more seconds to talk to Dark Knight. Otherwise, I'm just going to start. Okay, that's you right there. Hit Protoss, dude. Fast. Go, go, go. I don't want to wait. Good job. Thank you for playing. All right, watch this, guys. Bronze to GM. I'm not gonna mic or anything. I'm also just gonna go roaches because that is what you have to go for a 7-minute max. If you go roach hydro, you can only max out by like probably 750, 8 minutes. But watch this. Okay, ready? Watch this shit. Watch how fast you can actually max this Zerg. I'm not gonna do anything aggressive either until I max. Let me blow your mind for a second. This is what it looks like if you have proper efficiency with your larva. And injects and all that shit. And good creep spread. All this stuff. Just proper mechanics. Is this a B2GM build? It's B2GM build with pure roaches. The point I'm trying to make here is people who max out at like 9 minutes or 10 minutes and they think that that's efficient, it's fucking not. I'm trying to show you what Zerg is capable of if you just fucking spend your larva. And you just make it and spend it. Stop fucking neglecting it. People neglect their larva like crazy, and they're like, I'm probably like pretty close to what you did though. But in reality, it's like you've already missed like 200 larvae, and you don't even realize it. Like it's legit. It actually, like if it was only one hatchery, saying 200 would feel ridiculous, right? But every time you have an additional hatchery, you multiply the number by how much larva gets missed because you're missing it on multiple bases. So it gets ridiculously out of hand. B2GM build right here, guys. B2GM build with roaches. 16, 18, 20. No speedling expand. And I'm spinning larva every time one is there. I'm not waiting until I have 3 or 2. I'm spinning 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Spin, 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 spin. I'm not waiting. I'm literally hitting 5SD, 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 5SD right now. The whole time. Even though I have 0. I just made one. I heard it. I saw the trigger at the bottom. I made it again. I saw the trigger. Do it again. 5SD, 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 5SD. Five SD, 5SD, 5SD, 5SD. What rank is this? I'm playing someone in Diamond League right now. So I did just teach someone in Gold League, but yeah, this example is just, I'm not going to do anything that I think gold players, platinum players, I don't think what I'm doing is not capable of what you can do. I need to make an eject. I don't think it's like, oh, there's no way you could do this, guys. Sorry. It's just, this is a ViBE exclusive. No, you totally can. You totally fucking can. Because it's just spinning your larva. That's all it is.
Swarm forces under attack.
Okay, he's gonna supply block me because he killed my Overlord.
Newly birthed queen ready.
Oh, yeah.
5SD, 5SD, 5SD. Yo, J-Rock, thank you very much for the sub, dude. Gifted sub, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now let's go into a third base while we make roaches. This way it's not super vulnerable, it's not super risky. It's, if he attacks me, I'm not gonna just die. Spin that larva. Don't let it stack. Oh, whoops. I thought I started my third already. Okay, start that third. Whoops. It's a little bit of a deficit there. But like little fuck-ups like that are things that are going to slow you down a little bit. So again, we're trying to hit a 7-minute max, and doing shit like that is definitely not good. But it's not like the end of the world either. Like, we're still going to be okay. It's not going to be like, well, oh, we just fucked up. I'm going to max at 10 minutes now. I might max like 8 seconds later because of that, or like 5 seconds later. It's not the end of the world. Make sure we're injecting. Make sure we're spreading creep. Let's go ahead and make another queen now on my natural. And we have a good amount of it. We have good safety roaches, 9 roaches. That's fine. We're going to make another queen because this queen's now going to become an injector. Right when this hatchery's done, inject right away. And I spent its last tumor, so it's going to generate energy as the hatchery's about to finish. Okay, we got roach speed now. And remember what I said? 4th base and 66 drones by 6 minutes. I have 64 drones at 5:45. So go ahead and start our 4th base right now. And now let's make more roaches for a second while we safely go into our you know, a supply in case we get attacked again. This is the 2nd round of safety roaches. We're going to do this all the way to like 120 supply. What's the point he's proving? You can max a lot faster than fucking 10 minutes. That's the point. Zerk can max ridiculously fast. If you just respect your larva and your injects and you spend it, you don't sit on it forever. And you mineral priority, you don't gas priority it. Gas is a secondary to mineral with builds like this. Now here comes a fuckload of supply. The supply is going to start inflating like crazy right now. And you don't get supply block. Yeah, we got supply for like 1 second there. Like 2 seconds, it wasn't that bad. Also, I'm talking, you have to realize I'm also fucking talking while doing this, so it's not going to be fucking flawless. I'm trying to explain it and talk about it as I do it. Look, mineral cluster depleted, dude. Let's go take another base. B2GM style. Look at the clock right now. We are at 7:10, and we're already getting closer and closer to maxing out. Let's transfer some drones around to the new base I just made. Transfer some drones around to the new base I just made. We're at 177, 179. Spread some creep again. Make roaches again because their roaches popped. This last inject that's popping off right here is going to max us out. And now we are maxed out right now. We maxed in this 7 block of time. You can definitely max out even faster than this if you play a build that's not B2GM, but I would never recommend that for players who are newer to the game. But yeah, we just fucking maxed. With upgrades as well. We can go into like Roach Hydra. Who gives a shit? The point is, this is a fast max just because I spent my larva. I spent my larva. That's all I did. I spent that shit. What's up? I'm not even gonna micro. I don't give a fuck. I don't give one shit. This is diamond as well, and we're not microing. That's how crazy this is, guys.
Under attack.
Let's go ahead and get an infestation pit here.
Swarm forces under attack. Command unacceptable.
Oh my god. Okay, so now I have to decide how I want to play the rest of this game out. Do I want to actually play this game out, or do I want to just fucking B2GM this? I don't know exactly how. Yeah, I don't know what my opponent's gonna want to do here. In terms of an example, is what I'm saying. I'll just go fucking Broodlord style B2GM, like Lurker Broodlord. We'll develop it that way. I'll just keep hitting him with macro, and then eventually we'll go brood Lurker. Keep spinning that larva, boys. Keep spinning that larva. Don't ever let it sit. If you have the money to spend it, you fucking spend it. And would you look at that? We're maxed again. Now let's get ready to go attack him again. Let's spread some creep.
Command unacceptable.
Okay, we have the access to go either Lurker. We can go Lurker or Brood. And I haven't done anything crazy this game. I'm not microing anything. This is, again, Diamond League. Look, I'm going to go A move, shift A move, shift A move. Fucking, I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. I'm going to go back to injecting. I'm going to go back to spreading creep. As I spread creep, watch my supply. Make hydras. Make a creep tumor. Make hydras. Tumor. Make hydras. Creep tumor. Make hydras. Creep tumor. Make hydras. Creep tumor. Make hydras. I don't just fucking stare at something. You alternate it as much as possible. Okay, let's go into our Greater Spire. We'll just do broods. Fuck it. Start. So we need another base. Look. That base died. Or I already started it. Just kidding. I already started it, but whatever. You get the point.
Mineral cluster expended.
Okay, get some more gas over here. We really need gas. Maybe take gas over here as well. We can even take another base over here. Because another... Am I losing bases at another base? Or patches? Yeah, I'm about to lose patches here, so I definitely need to expand again. Okay. We're going into Broodlords now. And since we're going to go Broodlords, let's, we can go ahead and just get Zergling speed just in case we need it. Because it pairs well with Broods and it's going to just be a buffer for my army. Because I'm like really low on the gas right now. Okay, we're about to start making Broodlords now, guys. And we'll make Lings now as a buffer because I don't have enough gas to just max on Broods here really fast. And I have a lot of larvae that I can't really spend otherwise. Spread some creep. 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 Go back to my shit over here. Make some more Broods again. We can take our Lings that we just made. Just the Lings. And maybe go like this. A move. Shift A move. Shift A move. You know why I'm doing that? Because we're going away from his army. I don't want to fight his army with those Lings right now. I just want him to like chase them. And now we have a bunch of Broodlords. This is a good healthy amount of Broods, I would say. Do the same thing with my Lings again. A move, shift A move, shift A move. This is a good amount of Broods. I would say we can make Hydras now behind this and just call it a day. And keep making lings if I have still no supply to work with here. And now, I'll just go ahead and fucking A-move his army. I'll just A-move his ass. I don't really care about, you know, taking the fight and microing it. What's my drone count at? It's a little bit under par right now because I just lost some drones. I have to rebuild some buildings as well, so let's make a couple more buildings. Call it a day.
Swarm forces under attack.
Okay, our drone count's back to like 85. That's nice. Let's go ahead and rally my army out in front of his base now.
Mineral field depleted.
Yo, Tater Tutor. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub, man.
Swarm forces under
Thank you very much for the tier 1, baby. Inject my bases. Don't forget to inject. Don't forget to inject. Don't forget to inject. Send drones around. Fix the economies whenever they're fucked up. And take my army. Maybe send the Broodlords in first for a second. Let them get a little bit of distance and forward first so the Hydras don't run in and die. And then go ahead and A-move, shift A-move, shift A-move, shift A-move. Call it a day. Let that happen. We can go back to upgrades now. Get range weapons, get Carapace. And start going back into Hydras again. As I make them, spread some creep. Hydras, 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 spread some creep. Notice how I'm maximizing my money as much as possible. I'm not letting my larva sit there forever. And it's only sitting there when I can't physically spin it anymore. Because I have 200.
tester expended. Swarm forces under
Get a Carapace upgrade over here on this. Send some more drones elsewhere because they're mining out. Let's go ahead and spread some creep again. Hydras, spread some creep. Hydras, spread some creep. Hydras, spread some creep.
attack.
All my tumors are like dead. All my active tumors are dead.
Forces under attack.
Okay, so it looks like we're doing alright in this fight. Let's go ahead and take my whole army and A-move it right there. Shift A-move, shift A-move. We'll reassign it again. That way these new Hydras that I just made can come help. Make Hydras again.
Attack.
Make Hydras. Spread some creep. Hydras, spread some creep. Hydras, spread some creep. Hydras, spread some creep. Hydras, spread some creep. Now I'm consuming the fucking map through stream mechanics. Hi, Mila. What's up, baby? Hi. We could even do something like spread some creep over here in the center because he killed a lot of it. So we put more tumors down and go back.
Speed geyser depleted.
Let's fix the economy. That's fucked up again. Send drones elsewhere.
Forces under
Send them like over here. Maybe take a new base because our another base is gonna get ready to start mining out. Probably here pretty soon. Like yeah, this base is already starting to mine out. So yeah, we need another base again. Okay, my army died, so everything's dead. So let's go ahead and make another wave of Corruptor. Again, we'll go do another wave of Broods.
Swarm has
And this will take a little bit longer to make because Broodlords take a little bit longer to make than Hydras do. So we're going to chill for just a sec.
exhausted.
But we have insane creep sword right now, so we're looking pretty fucking fancy.
Tips for breaking all army hotkey for Zerg.
Under
You just got to stop doing it, man.
field.
Just stop relying on it. Like, unbind it if you have to, but stop relying on it.
Tumor under attack.
Okay, so just, yeah, we're same shit again, boys. Check my drone count. Saturations everywhere. Fix them if they're red, which some of them were. I fixed them. Inject my bases again.
Swarm.
We can start another upgrade on this Spire. Go ahead and make our broods now because they're all over here. Finish off on some Hydras.
Mineral field exhausted.
Now we know he doesn't have this base. And we know he just cleared my creep out here. So how about we go here first this time? On the top, the north side. Let's take a couple gases. Let's take this shit off. Send it over here to the new base. Inject that base. Fix some drones. Send them over here. Fix some drones. Fix some or just kidding. I don't actually have a thing there. Okay. All right, and now let's go ahead and go. My broodlords are done. Let's go up.
Creep tumor under attack.
We can rip some drones off. Maybe get some more gas going because again, I'm doing a very gas expensive army.
Geyser exhausted.
More gas is mining out elsewhere. Okay, well, those drones we just ripped off, let's put them on the mineral line again because they're doing nothing, and I have all my resources saturated properly.
I feel like you could spread your creep a little better. It's not in his main base yet.
Well, it can't go in his main base because if there's like cannons and shit, I guess it'll just die. But I know what you mean. But yeah, like to the point where you actually have him stuffed into a corner is what you want to do. If we're doing like B2GM, where, you know, I'm not expecting you to be able to kill everything and like always control everything. It's just, no one really contests anything though in B2GM. They all just fucking let you do whatever you want. That's really what happens. Let's fix our drones, spread our creep. We found a base. A move, shift A move. Inject our bases, inject our bases, inject our bases, inject our bases. I have so much larva. I have a fucking insane amount of larva sitting there. All of our hydras and shit are going throughout his whole base right now. Make hydra. We could even take this queen right here and we can go fix creep at this point. Whatever. Make hydras. Fix creep anywhere. All my active tumors are literally dead. Except for these. Okay. Let's make some creep. Make hydra. Make hydra. Make hydra. Oh no, I'm getting owned over there. Ah, shit. Fix our drones. That's what's important right now. Not watching the fight and trying to win the fight as hard as I possibly can. Because it's going to do... My army is very immovable anyways. It's going to do a great job even if I'm not looking at it. So, spread some creep. Make hydras. 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 Spread creep. Make hydras. And look, he killed my creep over here as well. He shoved it back, so he's probably going to retake this too. So all these new units we just made, we're maxed still, and we're still... Well, our shit's going to... It is dying. But we're already maxed. We never stopped being maxed. So let's take our new army we just made, that we just maxed with again, and let's actually go hit him over here. Fuck it. Shift A move, shift A move, shift A move. A move, shift A move, shift A move, shift A move. And he's going to hit this base, so let's take our drones and run away. Whatever. I'm still making hydras. He doesn't have a base here. Good shit. He's about to not have a base here either. Like, all of his bases are dying right now pretty hard. Let's go ahead and send a drone up here because we need a base. Maybe send a couple hydras back. A move that really fast. More drones are dying. Let's run them away. I don't really care if we oversaturate a mineral line. It's not a big deal. Okay, you guys go help with the hydras on the attack, on the assault. New hydras have been made and they're dealing with the base trade scenario here. Grab these hydras and send them all back to these new hydras that just got made. Grab these drones over here, fix the economy. Send a lot of it up there. Now we should be fine. We can just A-move this with hydras. And let's take a drone again. And let's retake the bases that just died. Take this base. We'll send another drone up here to get ready to take this base. We're still making hydras. Inject. Inject. GG. There you go. So this was a bit longer of replay analysis because it's turned into a real 20-minute game, which is not entirely what I wanted to do, but it's fine. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys understand what I mean. You should not be fucking staring at your army. You should not be staring at part of your base, just being like zombie mode in it and just zoning out, which is what most people do. Just know, alternate your larva, do another task in the meantime, and inject larva and creep spread are very important. Spin your larva, make your larva, spread your creep, and follow somewhat of a build. Doesn't have to be exactly right, but it needs to be like in the ballpark. It needs to be somewhat close to the actual build. Efficiency. So if you're the guy who's like, I'm taking gases like crazy, I'm going for a speed lane expand, and I'm gonna go for a 3 base and then go gas crazy on it. No, that's not even close to the build. That's fucking way. That's like you just took my build and diluted the shit out of it, and then now it's just something completely different. It's not at all remotely the same thing. But anyways, Charvy, thank you for doing this, man. I hope it helps. This has been one of my longest replay analysis I think I've ever done. But much love, dude. Good luck to you. And thanks again, man. And guys, if you enjoyed it, go check out more of them. This is definitely a long one, but other ones that I've done are a lot shorter. So check them out as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, everybody. Bye.